Hey, it's Brain Muffin back with some more looks at the movies and what's what all the spoilers and fun about Avengers 4. Who's gonna live and who's gonna die? This is easily the best and most terrifying Avengers 4 spoiler yet. Let's find out. We've been covering the latest Avengers film for months now, trying to figure out what will happen. Here's what will happen. They'll all live. After the infamous snap, we will know that plenty of dead Avengers will be resurrected and be plenty of fan theories that try to explain how things will go down between the Avengers and Thanos in the future. But the following plot spoiler, which seems to be confirmed by an insider, is both the best and most, and I hope it's accurate. So back in April, a rumor via MCU comic emerged saying that the action in 4 is set some 5 years in the future. A few days ago, an insider repeated the same thing on Twitter. Avengers 4 starts years after Infinity War, not just a few months later as some people were hoping. Sorry, guys. I do find it interesting that Doctor Strange said that this is the way it has to happen. This is the only way it, the only way it works, or I forget what he said. So that tells me he set something up that we didn't see, and it's gonna replay back at some point. In replies that follow on Twitter, he said that the action starts 5 years from where we left off, and that it could not divulge the identity of his source. So if that's true, then the movies that are going to follow, like Guardians 3, Spider-Man movies, Captain Marvel movies, it's interesting, and that gap's going to be there. It implies that it's really interesting to see if they tie that. So a few years down the road, if we see some crossover. He did not share details. Okay, on the other hand, it's awesome for us when you think about it. On the other hand, what? On one hand, it really, again, I'm not reading the words that are there. I'm just making this stuff up as I go along, I think. It's terribly sad for surviving characters. They all have to live with us for 5 years. They had to deal with the loss and find a way to keep hoping. Depends on where they are. So if they cross portal out, they may not have lived through those 5 years. It may be a time jump for them as well. Be able to undo all those deaths. Avenger will be beaten I think Gamora. I think a couple of people aren't coming back, and one of them being Captain America. Disappeared, but by the end, I end up waiting for the missing piece of the puzzle that would actually let them face him again. Remember, this is the only one. This is the only way to win. Tony knows that from Doctor Strange, and I can't remember if Doctor Strange disappears. I mean, I haven't seen the movie. I've only seen clips. So over the course of, because I don't really give a crap anymore, he'll be working hard to achieve Strange's prophecy. He may not know how or when this will occur. My guess is Strange will have placed things in the future for him to find when the time is right. And that'll help guide Tony. It'll probably be one of these puzzle things where he gets something that doesn't kind of make sense, and then that's why I think that some of it, they're on different dimensions and planets and stuff like that. They journey back to Earth. I don't think they're going to live through all of it. That in 5 years that pass, so many things can happen that could influence the arc of the characters. Stranded on Titan with Nebula right now, but he'll get back home. He'll likely find out that Pepper is pregnant. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back home and it's like 2 years later, as we already learned. That details adds a new layer of intensity to the struggle. He'll have everything on the line as he tries to lead the Avengers to Strange's victory. Captain America will finally meet back up with Tony and will probably resolve their differences for good. The other captain of the MCU, Marvel, will come to Earth's aid following the distress signal that Nick Fury sent out before he died. But since there'll be no Fury or Maria Hill anymore, she'll probably have to join the Avengers, somehow. No, she'll save the Avengers. She won't join them. She'll lead them. Shuri will probably take over as Black Panther, and she must be the next in line for Wakanda's throne now, for her brother is gone. If her rival, okay. Hawkeye is also alive after the snap, but that much we know. But what about his wife and children? It's likely, I don't know, he was married, lost something after the snap as well. And he'll be motivated to find Thanos, man, okay, and Bruce and Natasha. Let's not forget about the unfinished business between Bruce and Natasha. But we might have to deal with 5 years of sorrow like everyone else. Ant-Man, that's who. He's stuck in the quantum realm. And but at least the Wasp disappeared, so that's good. Stark might be the missing piece of Stark's puzzle. Again, Stark knows that this is the only way to win, and he might have to have all the resources to pull it off. No kidding. Fighting back a sneeze, so let me get quickly. Imagine Lang showing up at Stark's door with questions about everything that happened, because as soon as Scott realizes he's in the future, he'll be debriefed on. Wait a minute, who's Lang? Oh, I guess that's the guy from Scott Lang. Daughter is expected to be the teenager in the new movie. No, I guess he's Ant-Man. Are still alive as well. Did Bucky disappear? I hope Bucky dies. I don't even want him to come back. He is the reason for 3 of these movies to exist, and he should die. Time difference between events, a layer of complexity and heartbreak. Gamora, I'm still not convinced Gamora will be gone. I think it's going to be. I think I think Tony Stark. I don't think they'll kill him off, but I think he'll give his suit to someone else. Hopefully not Riri. And I think Captain America's gone, maybe permanently. Not Captain America. Yeah, Captain America. I think he doesn't. I think it's part of the sacrifice. I think unfortunately he's going to sacrifice for his boyfriend Bucky. And when it's all said and done, and we'll still have Bucky, and unfortunately, and then we'll deal with. I think Tony will pass his thing on. All the Guardians will be alive. We'll probably get a new Groot from a twig of some sort somewhere. I wouldn't be surprised if Doctor Strange has survives but is quite scarred. Vision's probably gone. Thor, there's a good chance Thor dies and passes the mantle on as he does so to someone from Asgard, or some kind of folding into one of the other realms. Hell, who knows? Maybe it'd be his sister actually survived her encounter and is now pious and deserving of the God of Thunder. But I think most, Hulk might be gone for good. I could see Falcon might survive, but because you gotta remember, which parts of these franchises are got their own movies coming out. We know we're getting a Black Widow movie. Who knows? Might get a Scarlet Witch movie. So I'd say they survive. There's definitely a Black Panther 2, most likely. He'll come back in some fashion. Batista might get written out or something happen in 3. I don't know. That's a kind of an odd situation there. But I think for the most part, most of these people will survive. And unfortunately, Bucky is going to survive, although I think he should die. In fact, I think he should die a horrible and gruesome death, like be torn apart very slowly or something by multiple dimensions, pulling him in 5 different directions. And so he's pulled apart, and Captain can't get to him and just stands there and watches his boyfriend get slaughtered, perhaps repeatedly. And then, I think I think all these characters survive. They're in the next movie. Thor may or may not, may pass it on. Tony, I think, will pass it on so that Iron Man doesn't actually die. But it's not Tony Stark anymore. It's someone else. Vision's gone. This guy's probably gone. I think we'll see a second Doctor Strange movie, because I don't know what Marvel's plans are, but that's what my guess is. And most of this has just been, to just kind of tug at your heartstrings, end some storylines and start some new ones. And it's really all for naught. All right. So what do you think? You think maybe they all die and we just start all over again? It's going to be Captain Marvel and her new friends. I don't know. See you on the other side. Bye.